planche going. And then I'm just going to press record. There we go, fabulous. All right, we're all good. Okay, let's get started. I think the jumper's staying on for a little bit. Arm circles, first of all. So nice and slow and steady. Arm circles forward, keep your shoulders as low as you can. And then arm circles back, which I'm already too warm. There we go. Well done. Gentle start this morning. And no burpees, although Dave, you know, if you want to do some burpees, I can always throw them in for you. Alright, and then just go to a marching on the spot. Bring your knees up, bring your arms up. So taking your time with this to begin with, just starting with a little bit of balance. We are going to do a little bit of balance work today. Fab. And then just take that into a little low jog on the spot. Move my lights around, that's better. So jogging on the spot. Don't really bring your feet off the ground very much. Small movements. Try and think about keeping your shoulders loose. I think one of our problems for a lot of us is shoulders like earrings. Good. Just do a few shoulder rolls while you're moving your feet. And shoulder rolls forward. Okay, and then we're going to move into a little high squat into a side-to-side shuffle. If you're a member of Knee Club, you can do this as a hip hinge instead. But just do a high squat, take a few steps to the side, move again. So you're not going anywhere near as low as you normally can for a squat. And if you think it's going to hurt your knees, do a hip hinge and a side shuffle instead. Good, keep going. So hopefully you can feel your heart rate coming up a little bit now, just gently though. It is still early. Okay, one more of those. Then find somewhere you can do some high press ups. So against a wall or a high table or a kitchen work surface, nothing lower than that. You want to make these nice and easy, hands at shoulder width apart. If you're pushing against a wall, just come onto your toes. Keep them gentle. Okay. So this is just to mobilise your upper back and your chest. You shouldn't feel like you're putting any work through your arms at this point. Well done. Do a couple more. And then we'll go into some mobility. So find somewhere to do some leg swings, forward and back to begin with. So really focus on getting as much movement through your hip as you can. Don't let your torso move, keep your torso as still as possible. Try and keep your legs straight behind you. So when you're kicking forward, you can feel your hamstring moving. When you're kicking back, you can feel your bum working. If you're feeling mobile this morning, try and increase the swing a little bit. Well done. Fab. And then change sides. Well done. Do a couple more. And then side to side. So same thing, chest nice and high. Try not to let your upper body move. And try and get as much of a swing across your body and out to the side as you can. And change legs, doing about 10 on each leg. Fab, well done. Good, and then hip circles. So put your hands on your waist if you want to make it a bit easier, and you're going to do one leg at a time today. But just hold your hands wherever you want. Think about engaging your core. And you might start to feel the leg that you're standing on waking up a little bit to support you as well. Don't change legs, and now bring your leg around. So I can feel my bum on my left leg, which I'm standing on, starting to wake up a little bit. If you feel it in your knee at all, just bend your leg slightly. And change sides. Brace your core. Oh, there we go, there's the weak leg. Well done. Looking good, well done. And then change direction. So much harder on this side. I can feel myself leaning over. One more. And then into a thoracic rotation. So onto the mat. 1 foot forward, hand down. This big reach. We're going to do this for about 30 seconds on each side. So if you're feeling a little bit stiff through your upper back, just work on increasing your range of movement as we go. Really try and push your arm through as well as reaching around to the back. Perfect, well done. One more, and then change sides. So again, increasing your range of movement as you go if you need to. And really work on this phase that you're pushing your arm through. One more. And then roll onto your back. Head up in your hands and kick your straight leg up and down. So like everything else, just increase the range of movement as you go. If your hamstrings are a bit tight particularly. Sorry, I just need to... This is really annoying. It's blowing against the door. There we go. All I can hear is that rattling. Well done. Good, one more and then change legs. Good. Okay, one more kick and then both feet to the floor. Arms outstretched and roll your knees from side to side. So we're just going to do a few of these like this, and then I want you to cross one leg over the other. So before you start to roll your knee, I've got my right leg crossed over my left. I'm just going to try and push my right leg away from me using my own strength and keep that feeling going, so I can kind of feel it in my hip, round to the outside of my bum a little bit, and then roll that knee to the floor. We're going to do about 10 of these on each leg in each direction. And when you roll your knee over, if you can feel your opposite shoulder coming up, just work on keeping it pushed down to the floor. Good, and then roll the other way, so you're not changing legs yet. You're rolling your foot to the floor. So this should feel a more challenging mobilization exercise than just rolling knees from side to side. Okay, do one more and then you can change legs. So cross the other leg over, push that knee away. Oh yes, that's tighter on that side. And then roll your knee to the floor. It's always fun to discover what hurts every morning, isn't it? Good. While you're rolling, just try and keep that knee pushed away. And then change direction, so foot to floor. If you're a bit tighter rolling in this direction, really work on keeping that shoulder pushed down. Okay, just do one more. And then up you get slowly. Grab a drink if you need it. We're going to move into our activation set. So a little bit of balance focus with these. None of these should irritate knees or backs, but if you need any modifications and I haven't given them to you, just unmute or wave vigorously at the camera. So first one, step back with a high knee. We've got about 5 exercises to go through, but rather than demonstrate all of them, I'm just going to go through them one by one for the first set. 30 seconds on each side. If you're really wobbly and you can't control your balance, for this first set, just go for the step back without a high knee. But if you feel comfortable, so step back and then bringing your knee up. Try using a running arm movement as well. It is a running balance exercise. So that's your first one. 30 seconds on each side. Let's get started. 2, 1, off you go. And we'll move straight from one leg to the other. We won't rest in between these. So if you're doing the high knee and you just can't control how much you're moving, if you're really wobbling, then just take the easier option for this first set. Let's have a look at you. Looking good, well done. I'm just getting a better stopwatch going on my watch. And change legs. So when I do this, it helps my balance if I just let my eye line change with my leg. But if it helps you a bit more, you can stare straight ahead. So keep the movement quite slow for this. This is balance we're working on. If you move quickly, it's easier. Well done. 3, 2, 1. Good. Next one, straight arm plank, taking your knee across your body. If this is too challenging, you can do it on a raised surface, so you could use a table or a work surface if you wanted to make it a bit easier for the first set. So straight arm plank, shoulders directly over your hands, driving your knee across your body. If you want to give yourself some more stability, you can stand or hold your feet in a wider position. If your feet are narrower, it will be harder. Again, 30 seconds, off you go if you haven't started. Pardon me. Blow my nose. Okay, keep going. 10 seconds. Almost there. 2, 1, and done. Next one. You either need your band, or if you've got a cushion handy, you can use that, but the band is fine. But if you have a cushion handy, grab it. On your back, band or cushion between your knees. So whatever you're using, you want your knees and feet tight together, squeezing it between your knees. And you're going to do a bridge with whatever you're using, squeeze tightly. Because you've got your legs tight together, you won't be able to get your hips up as high as normal, but you should be feeling this in your inner thighs. That's what you're aiming for. So the harder you squeeze whatever you're using, the more you'll feel it. You can also use things like a foam roller, if you've got that handy as well, which is even more challenging. Well done, keep going. It's good. And done. Fab. Next one. It's a straight arm plank again, but this time with a rowing movement. So into straight arm plank, and you're going to bring your hand with your palm flat to the floor up into your armpit. So you will rock from side to side, but as you go and as you get sort of more competent doing this, you want to try and limit the rock as much as possible. Good, off you go. Start if you haven't. So the idea of this is an anti-rotation exercise. So when you bring one hand off the floor, you will move, and you're trying to resist that movement as much as you can. And it should get easier as we go through these sets. Pardon me. Looks good. 3, 2, 1. Fab. And then the last one we're doing for this set is a side-to-side jump. Feet tight together. I want you to think about your inner thighs working again. So if you jump with your feet tapped together, you should feel your inner thighs working as you jump. So it's a really small jump from side to side, but working on keeping your feet and your legs as tight together as your bandy-legged physiology allows, in my case. As my dear grandmother would have said, you could drive a pig through them, dear. Good. So if jumping isn't fun for various reasons, you can think about keeping your pelvic floor drawn up a little bit as well. 5 seconds. Good, perfect. Right, little rest. We're going to go through those again. Have a drink if you need it. So if you found that bridge with the band between your knees, if it wasn't really challenging enough, go and grab a cushion. It's a lot harder with a cushion. All right. Eloise, you could use a dog. That would be harder. Okay, let's go again. So step back to the high knees again. Exactly the same as last time. If you didn't do the high knee, try it this time. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Got a nice little COVID cough going this morning. Oh, concentration. I can feel it coming down the internet. Well done. Good. 3, 2, 1, change legs. Off you go. Try and keep this movement slow. This shouldn't hurt knees, but if it's irritating them, then just a simple step back is better. Almost there. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Straight arm plank. So hips down, make sure you haven't got your bum sticking up in the air. Off you go. And don't be tempted to speed this up. These are all activation exercises, so you're doing them for quality, not for speed. Nice. Okay, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and then bridge. So using the band or the cushion or a foam roller. Off you go. The best thing for these are those soft weighted plates that we used to use back in the olden days when we could see each other personally. They're really good for this exercise because you've actually got a bit of weight that you're trying to hold between your knees as well. So if you have moved onto a cushion, you should find it a little bit harder than the band. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And then straight arm plank rows. Be really careful with your shoulder position. Make sure your shoulders are directly over your hands. Don't let them drift forward. You want to protect your shoulder joints. Off you go. So again, really working to control the movement. Try not to let your hips and shoulders move from side to side too much. They will move, but the more you can control them, the better. Five seconds. And 3, 2, 1, good. And then side to side jumps. This time are going to be side to side hops. If you can't progress this, if you don't feel you can hop, stick with the jump. Left leg first. We're just going to do some little hops from side to side. Off we go. Now, this is a lot more challenging. Whenever I do things like this, I just think back to when I was a child, and this was easy. Good, and rest. So next round, we're doing right leg. Okay, short rest, just a few seconds, and then we've got one more round of these to go. So step back with a high knee. There is a further progression you can do if you feel that you're doing it competently. So by that I mean, if you're really wobbly, don't progress. So your progression is to do a step back with a little jump. So this isn't really one for knee club. All right, get ready. 5 seconds, so do the step back with a little hop if you feel you can. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Well done. That's good, keep going. Woo. 3, 2, 1, change legs. And go. So what you might feel doing this one is that you've got a bit more movement through your ankle as well. This is a good exercise if you're trying to build your ankle with strength and stability. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Good. Well done. That was really good. Straight arm plank, knee across. No change for this one. Just work on your form. That's keeping your shoulders over your hands, keeping your bum nice and low. Off you go. So if you can feel that your bum's coming up in the air, or even your back's dipping, just think about keeping your tummy drawn up towards your spine all the time. Keep going. And 3, 2, 1, bridge. No change for this one either. Just really work on squeezing whatever you're using between your knees as hard as you can. So you should really feel this in your inner thighs. That's the idea. Well done. Good, keep going. 5 seconds. 2, 1, and then you're back onto straight arm plank. Rows again. Again, no change for this. Get ready. 2, 1, off you go. Good. So keeping your palms down, flat to the floor. Make sure your shoulders are directly over your hands. If you feel your shoulders starting to drift back, you need to push your weight forward a little bit. Keep going. Nice. 3, 2, 1, and then last one, hopping. Right leg. So if the first lot of hopping on your left leg felt uncomfortable for any reason, go back to the jumps. All right, off we go. So if you see if I'm doing it, I am not moving much from side to side. It's only a tiny movement from side to side, but it's just a bit more challenging mentally and physically than just going up and down. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, done. I hate those. Should probably do it more really. Okay, we've got 3 workouts to go through. The first one is longer and it's working at a lower intensity. The second one is a bit shorter and a bit higher intensity, and the final one is a flat out sprint if you can. We actually did this workout a few weeks ago, so you've done this before. I haven't changed any of it because I had lots of lovely feedback saying that you enjoyed it, so why make my job harder? So the first one, this is working at about 65% of your maximum effort. It's a circuit, we're going a pyramid, so weighted bridge, crouching lunges, not knee friendly, I'll give you an alternative, 4 jumps, overhead press, and then back to the bridge and then a plank as well. I'm going to tell you what we're doing as we do it for this first set, you haven't got to remember anything. So it's working on a 50-second work, 10-second rest ratio, so there's enough rest to just move between the exercises. First one then, weighted bridge. So you've got options, either a band or a weight. If your only weight available isn't very heavy, use a band instead. I'll show you both. So if you're using a weight and you haven't yet been to the toilet, this might be what sets you off, because it's kind of nestling over your bladder slightly, which is nice. So weight across your hips and pushing up and down. And then your option with the band is to have the band pulled tight across your hips and use the band for resistance instead. So that's the first exercise. Get ready, we'll start straight away with that. I'll demonstrate the next one as we do it. What's my... No, good, had a bit of a panic then, something just made a beep. Right, and that's fine. Hopefully I won't disappear. Right, get ready. 3, 2, 1, off you go. So it's 50 seconds work, 10 seconds rest. The next exercise after this one is a crouching lunge, which is definitely not knee friendly. So I'll give knee club, that's your name now by the way, knee club. I'll give you an alternative exercise to do. Well done. So what you should hopefully feel now with this weight across your hips for the bridge is that your glutes are starting to work a bit harder. Really try and squeeze them as you push up. Keep going. Got 10 seconds to go. Okay, get ready. Weights down. 3, 2, 1, and up you get. So the crouching lunge is this one where you stay low and change legs. If you are in knee club, I want you to do deadlifts instead. So with a weight or a band, deadlifts. All right, off you go. Crouching lunge. I'll go through this one for a few and then I'll go through deadlifts as well. So you need to change legs each time. That's it. And if you're on deadlifts, make sure that you keep your back nice and flat to the floor, standing up tall. You want to feel it in the backs of your legs as much as possible if you're on deadlifts. Good, well done. 3, 2, 1, done. Next one, 4 jumps. You should all be okay doing these because they're small. So 2 small jumps or more if you have space, and then turn. So it's just small jumps, turning all the time. Off you go. If you're really happy doing these jumps, you can do slightly bigger ones, but I want you to make sure that you bend your knees when you land, absorb the impact, and try and use your core as much as possible when you're jumping. So engage your core, brace it before you jump, and try and keep that feeling going all the time. If you're enjoying the jumps, then just go for it. There's obviously a lot of injury risk with jumps for adults, so just be careful. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and then overhead press. 2 options. If you have a weight, then you can do a standing overhead press. If you only have a band, then you can do a kneeling press instead. So if you're using a band, kneel on it and press over your head. Off you go. However you're doing these, think about your back. It's very easy to let your back arch as you press above your head. So I want you to really concentrate, keeping your bum tucked under all the time, pulling your tummy in towards your spine. That's it, lovely. 50 seconds is a lot if your weight is heavy. So if you need to rest a bit early, that's absolutely fine. 20 seconds to go. I'm just going to do I can't do a full one. I'll go halfway. I've got some really good dents appearing in my ceiling already. 5 seconds. So we're going from this back to the 4 jumps. 3, 2, 1. Weights down, jumping again. Anyone not happy with these for knee reasons, then just unmute and let me know. I can give you an alternative, but you should be okay doing these as long as you keep the jumps small. Perfect, well done. Keep going. Well done. 20 seconds. Good, keep going. Almost there. So after the jumps, we're back onto those crouching lunges again, or deadlifts. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. In fact, don't go. A couple of seconds rest. Sorry, I'm being very mean. You've got 5 seconds. Now you can go. So with this crouching lunge, if you swap legs when you're in the crouching position, you're going to feel it a little bit more in your thighs. If you swap legs around when you're in the kneeling position, you'll feel your glutes working a bit harder, so you can choose where you swap legs. So I do it when I'm kneeling on the floor, like that. And remember, if it hurts, just do deadlifts. Well done. 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Done. Over onto your back. Bridge again. Weight or band. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. It's not the most comfortable thing, I have to say, having your weight across your hips. You can put a cushion underneath your hips or a towel, make it a bit more comfortable. So just think about your bum doing this. Try and work on squeezing your glutes as you push your hips up. Having a weight against your tummy might make it easier for you to engage your core as well. 10 seconds. And then we're going to roll over into plank before you have a proper rest. 3, 2, 1. Over into plank. 30 seconds, not 50. I'm being a bit nice. All right, get ready. So plank on your elbows, 3, 2, 1, off you go. If you need to do a half plank, if your back's not happy, you can just drop to your knees and do a half plank, as long as your hips are off the floor. So hands apart, make sure you've got your shoulders over your elbows. 10 seconds. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Longer rest this time, we've got a minute. And then we're going to go through that the whole thing again one more time. Starting off with a weighted bridge. So if it wasn't comfortable with a weight, use a band for the second set. If you've got options to increase your weight or anything, then progress with the second set. Well done. Oh, I've got loads of bird feeders out there, it's really nice. I wish you could all see. Right, 20 seconds. So we're back onto the bridge, band or weight. Is that a medicine ball, Hannah?
A sand ball.
Nice, that's actually the perfect thing to have. It's a bit nicer to hold than a kettlebell across your bladder. A bit more gentle. All right, get ready. I have got a slam ball in here somewhere, but it's tucked away. All right. So, same as last time. 50 seconds work, 10 seconds rest. 3, 2, 1, off you go. So doing a bridge can irritate your lower back. If you're finding that, then don't try and push your hips up to full extension. Just stop a little bit away from full extension and it won't let your back arch. Well done. Keep going. Oh. 15 seconds. Okay, almost there. 3, 2, 1. Good. Rest. Crouching lunge or deadlift. I'm going to do deadlift this time. Not quite out of knee club yet. Off you go. Good. So if you're doing deadlifts, watch your form. Make sure that your back doesn't round. So you want to keep your shoulders back and engaged all the time. Good. Let's watch you. Looking good. Well done. 15 seconds. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Jumps. So if you feel happy doing them, you can use this to get your heart rate up a little bit. So just increase the distance and the pace of your jumps if you can. Off you go. However you're doing it, just make sure you land with soft knees, absorb the impact, trying to land as silently as possible. It's quite good doing it in here because if I land too hard, everything shakes. It's quite a good cue to land softly. Maybe do your jumping next to your wine collection. Good, keep going. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, done. Overhead press. We've only got one of these, we're not repeating the overhead press, so you can really go for it. Try and go for a quicker movement, making sure that your back is in a good position and your core's engaged the whole time. Off you go. Lisa and Sarah, the running club vests look really good. I'm very chuffed with them, they look fab. And they fit an adult, unlike the last lot. Oops. I should stop doing these in here. 20 seconds. I'm going to go on to a kneeling press. 10 seconds, and then it's back onto the jumps. 3, 2, 1. 4 jumps again. Last set of these. Get ready. 2, 1, off you go. Nice, your jumping technique, lovely. Really try and use your core as much as you can. So when you land, bend your knees, engage your core. I've got a nice little article about plyometrics, about jumping for adults and why we should do it. I shall share it with you. So every time I make you do it, you know why. It's all about the bone density. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and then forward, crouching lunges or deadlifts. If you're getting any discomfort, these are a challenging exercise. If your knees are hurting at all, do deadlifts. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Well done, good. Well done. Looking good. Deadlifts look nice as well. Ten seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Bridge. Band or weight. Last set of these. So we've got bridge and plank, and then we're moving on. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Just moving on to the bands. If anybody wants to use a band for this last one. So if you can, for this last set, you can speed the movement up a little bit. Try and bring your heart rate up a bit. Perfect. Keep going. 10 seconds. And you're going to roll straight over into plank. 30 seconds. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, over you go. Plank and go. So on your elbows again. Bum tucked under, tummy pulled up to spine. Squeeze everything really tight. So squeeze your glutes, squeeze your legs. Well done. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Fab. Little rest. I shall demonstrate the whole of the next workout so you get a longer rest. Workout number 2. So this is working at between 75 to 80% max. So you're going to be really puffing by the end of this, but you not the kind of lying on the floor stage of puffing. Hard work, but you could do more. Sumo deadlift, high pull. We should all be okay with this. So there's a band option and a weight option. I'll show you both. Legs wide apart. This is for using the weight. Down and then pull up. So the lowest point of the weight is about there. It's not going to touch the floor completely. And if you are using your weight, think about pushing it back towards your heels. If the weight comes forward, your back will round and you'll use your thighs too much. If you push the weight back between your feet, you'll have a flatter back and you'll use your bottom and hamstrings more. And it's a quick movement up. So this exercise is really good for improving your hip flexor strength. So that's the first one. With a band, you want to stand with it looped around both of your feet like that. Hold on to both sides of it. So at the bottom of the movement, you don't get any help from it. But at the top, it's a much higher resistance. So you might not get the band as high as you would get a weight. But you need to hold both sides of it. If you've got a really high resistance band, you might want to do it with just one side over. But you're holding both sides of the band like that. Can you see that okay? And you can do that as well. Right, that's the first one. Reverse lunge run. Might not be knee friendly, so you can do it as a step back. So, reverse lunge, all the way to the floor. Do a few steps with a really high knee, big arm drive. So you really want to exaggerate high knee and arm drive. If you want to hurt your knees, step back instead. Stepping back is fine. And then you're going to do press ups with a shoulder tap. So either full body or on your knees, either is fine. I'm going to show my knees. Down to the floor, push up, 2 shoulder taps. Down to the floor, push up. So these are all full body, high intensity exercises. You can see I'm puffing. This is going to get your heart rate up. So we're working 50 seconds, 40 seconds, 30 seconds, 20 seconds. We're going down in time. If you feel that you can work harder each time, as the time goes down, your intensity can go up. Right, let's do it. Sumo deadlift. I'm going to show you the band for the first round. So it's over my feet. Feet are anchoring the band in place. Wide legs. Right, let's go. 2, 1, off you go. So if you are using the band, you might not be able to pull the band as high as you would a weight. That's okay. And just think about keeping your weight behind your knees, if that makes sense. This is a hip hinge, not a knee bend. So you're pushing the bum back and standing up tall. 15 seconds. And go from the side as well. Last few seconds. 3, 2, 1. Reverse lunge or step back and high knee. 50 seconds of this, you're going to be really puffing at the end of this. 2, 1, off you go. So really try and exaggerate the high knee and the arm drive. So if we're doing a running session, this would be hill reps. Keep going, 20 seconds. So your hip flexors are going to start to get tired. Really fight to keep the knee drive high. 3, 2, 1, rest. I might not do the next round of those, so I'm going for a long run after this. Might be a bit emotional. All right, press up with shoulder tap. On your knees is fine for this. 3, 2, 1, off you go. So make sure you get your chest all the way to the floor. So look after your shoulder joint. When you do your shoulder taps, shift your weight slightly. So you've got your body weight going directly down your arm. 20 seconds. If 50 seconds is too much for this, then just rest on your knees in a half straight arm plank. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Right. Short rest. Let's repeat it. 40 seconds this time. So it should feel a little bit easier. Sumo deadlift. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. I'm going to use the weight for this one. So if you have got a weight but it's awkward, then use the band. Well done. Remember, you're sticking your bum back, not bending your knees. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Reverse lunge or step back. I'll do the step back one this time. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. So you should feel a lot more out of breath than you did in that last set. Keep going. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Press up, shoulder tap. So do as many of these as you can. If you get to failure before 40 seconds, just hold a half straight arm plank or a straight arm plank. Off you go. When you're pressing up, think about pushing the floor away from your body. Bring your chest up before your chin. Last few seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Back to the sumo. 30 seconds now. Hopefully getting a little bit of a sweat on. Okay, get ready. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. If you feel happy with your technique, speed it up a little bit. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Reverse lunge or step back. 2, 1. Off you go. So you're probably finding it a bit harder to get your knees high now. Probably hip flexors fatiguing quite a lot, so really fight to keep your knees up. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Press ups. Get ready. And go. If you can feel that your lower back is starting to take over a little bit for your tummy as you push up, just work on bringing your tummy up to your spine, really engage your core. Well done. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Last set, 20 seconds. Sumo deadlift. Grab your weight or your band. And 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm going to move you through these exercises quickly. Not that I've been giving you that much rest, but I'm going to give you even less. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Reverse lunge or step back. Get ready and go. 10 seconds. Oh, 20-second intervals are lovely, aren't they? 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Last exercise, press ups. Down you go. Yeah, heart rate's high, lovely. And go. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. We have one more sprint workout, 3 minutes to go through. 2 exercises. About 20 seconds for each exercise. You're doing a sumo jump squat. So, not knee friendly. So if you can't do this one, do a deadlift jump. So your knee friendly option is a deadlift jump. The other option is a sumo jump squat. So legs wide apart, you're doing a jump squat like that with your feet wide apart. That's the first one. And then alternate squat thrust because, you know, I had to. Dave, you can do burpees. No one else needs to, I did promise, but Dave loves a burpee. 20 seconds of each exercises, 3 minutes work, and then we're done. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Sumo jump squats, go. So Claire, I apologise, we kind of did these yesterday in HIIT. This is a bit cruel. 3, 2, 1. Alternate squat thrust. Kelly, that might hurt your back. You can just sprint on the spot if you need to. Off you go. Three, 2, 1. Up you get. Sumo again. There's no rest in between these ones. This is your last blast of the day. Oh my God. He's not nice. 3, 2, 1. Alternate squat thrust. Down you go. I might actually have to watch you do these now. Just thinking how bad my run's going to be if I carry on. Kelly, I'll jog on the spot with you, darling. 3, 2, 1. Sumo jump squats. Get ready. And go. We've got 1 minute to go. Well done. Keep going, 10 seconds. I would join in, promise. 3, 2, 1. Alternate squat thrusts. If you're not happy with your back doing these, just run on the spot. You're basically running on the spot, but on your front anyway. So. Keep going, 3, 2, 1, up you get. Got about 15 seconds of each exercise to go. Sumo jump squats, 30 seconds left, and then we're stretching. Well done. Okay, almost there. 2, 1, down you go. Alternate squat thrust, last 15 seconds work. Really go for it. Try and keep a bouncing leg movement going. Feet moving as quickly as you can. 10 seconds. Well done. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Done. Well done. I can see some lovely sweaty faces and some really good workout hair going on. Well done. Right. Grab a drink. We're not going straight down into child pose. I need to get your heart rate down a little bit first of all before we get onto the floor. So just have a drink. Keep your feet moving. Small footsteps. Some active recovery before we get into child pose. We're going to run over by a couple of minutes as well. I do apologise. I had to get everything in though. Couldn't miss something out. Alright, about another 30 seconds of this. So just keeping feet moving, having a drink if you need it. If you're wearing a heart rate monitor, just have a look at, watch your heart rate come down. So it's good to keep an eye on this, especially after doing a real max effort workout like that, which will push your heart rate pretty much to as high as it can go safely. If you can get about 40 beats a minute recovery when you stop moving or go to a very gentle movement like this, that's a very good sign of fitness. And if you are keeping an eye on it and you find that your heart rate doesn't recover as quickly, it can be a sign of overtraining or fatigue or illness. So it's a good thing to keep an eye on. Right, down into child pose. So feet together, knees apart, bum onto your heels, really stretch forward. I'm going to reduce the stretching just a little bit because I've run over, but if you feel you need to do some more after the session, feel free to carry on. So just using your fingers on the floor, pull them forward a little bit and try and increase the stretch down the sides of your back. A few deep breaths. And then come up and go straight into hip flexor stretch. So you're going to bring one leg forward, tuck your bum under and push forward. We'll spend a bit of time in this position because a lot of those exercises are quite hippy today, so your hip flexors might be a bit tight. If you feel like you need to increase the stretch at all, just take your front foot forward a bit more and then push forward again, but keep your torso upright to begin with. Good, and then shuffle your foot out to the side a tiny bit and put your hands down to the floor. And change sides. So foot forward, bum tucked under, push forward. Well done. Again, if you want to increase the stretch, just take your front foot forward a little bit more. Well done. Good, and then shuffle your foot just out to the side a little bit and bring your hands down to the floor. Just pushing into that stretch a bit more. Sally, I'm very impressed that you're outside. Good, and then from there into glute stretch. So I would do this one this morning, do the seated one, bringing your leg around and really hanging through because we get a bit of a twist in this as well. So keep your shoulders pointing forward to begin with. We have run over a bit, so if you need to go, that's absolutely fine. You can stretch later. And then twist. And then change sides. Oh, that's a bit tighter. So keep your shoulders pointing forward to begin with. Well done. And then twist round. And release. Stand up slowly, or you can do a kneeling quad stretch. We're going to do quads to finish off with, but you can do kneeling if you feel you get a deeper stretch, or stand up. So however you're doing it, as always, just make sure your back doesn't arch. Keep your hips pushed forward. If you do it that way, you're going to stretch across your hip flexor as well as into your quad. Well done. And change sides. Good. And then release. And we'll just finish off. Keep your hands close to your body, roll down. Just let yourself hang down, let your head drop as well. And then slowly roll up, nice and tall, stretching your arms up. and done. Well done. You worked very hard this morning. Good work.
Thanks, Catherine.
Well done. See you later. Have a lovely